The #1 seed in Europe against the #2 seed in North America in a match to make the playoffs. James Bott, I can't believe we're here.
And you know what, Dazzler? And there's been quite a bit of chatter about EU being better than NA. NA coming back. Well, there's 2 EU teams that have made it so far, top 8. 2 NA teams have played.
That's right.
And now we've got the NA-EU matchup. Only one can move on.
And this is going to be absolutely incredible, seeing how we even got here, looking at all of their runs. Endpoint, they've been up and down. G2 started at the bottom at round 3 and have battled their way all the way back. They've been playing the best they've looked all tournament long, and you can see that with the offensive pressure right out the gate.
And you heard Turtle point it out. Oh, the shot off the post rebound. Metza gonna be denied. Drees, he's been a dream all tournament long. A nice drop shot, and that will be blocked.
G2 giving away the ball a little bit early there, but watch out, seiko in the air. That is dangerous. As soon as you see him pop up, you know that this one's at least gonna go on target. That's gonna be G2's biggest stretch, seeing if they can really honestly play around that. G2's a very aggressive offensive team, and you see it the way they find each other, just like this. JNaps with the read! G2 strike first!
This all started with Drees playing around the first defender, a nice pop-up, and JNaps. You'll love to see it, Daz, starting out hot.
Explosive from G2 in the opening minute, but there's still a lot of game to go. We'll see exactly what Endpoint can do to get back into this one. Here's seiko right off the kickoff, and the equalizer comes quickly.
seiko not letting that G2 lead last for long. You see JNaps getting beat by Metza. Wonderfully done off the kickoff. So already you think JNaps is getting hot. seiko and Endpoint dumping a bucket of cold water on him.
Yeah, you can see everybody locked in, 2 on the cams. A little bit of smiles before the game. That stops when they get on the field. Here's Drees playing that one off into the corner. JNap's gonna come for an assist. seiko up early, but so Chicago gets that one straight down, and Mets will try to play it off to the side. Right now, G2 still picking up on that offensive pressure, but they have to be careful not to overcommit. We saw them end up making a kickoff goal happen earlier. There's a good shot. seiko able to get there.
Play by seiko so far, but you see the demo come in. Relating Wave trying to buy time. seiko, the tap to Meta. He's got Relating Wave over on the side. You saw the pass come through, but Drees cutting that play out.
The pass.
Oh, off the crossbar. Endpoint with just a bit of life.
Still, more pressure coming through from G2. They haven't really let Endpoint get too set on offense. We haven't seen too many offensive strikes besides some solo plays from seiko. This one, Drees looking for the low shot, Relating Wave there in time. Endpoint have been managing the pressure well here, James Bott, but still, they haven't been able to break out. We haven't really seen any consistent plays yet. We finally get to see some offense here for a little bit, but look, transition from G2 so fast.
Drees, well, not able to make contact on that ball. Relating Wave wanted that demo. JNap's getting around it. You wondered if nerves would come into play game 1, but both teams coming out swinging, playing solid Rocket League. And we're just about to hit that halfway point.
Oh man, here's danger. seiko only at 26 boost there. That one might roll all the way back. Relating Wave will get there in time to end up making that touch out. But like you said, halfway point in the game. Still tied 1-1. G2, they're able to get control of the ball. You see them moving down the field really well. They play off of each other greatly. And Endpoint just barely ending up stopping them on the goal line. Tough to see G2 haven't been able to score yet with all the pressure they've amounted.
And we've been seeing some physical plays. Even on that play, it looked like Relating Wave got a bump right on takeoff as Drees was going for the shot. And then Relating Wave also able to make that touch. Endpoint holding up on defense. G2, you heard it from Chicago. They want to play their game. So far they have been. Endpoint on the back foot. But still, we are all tied up thanks to that kickoff goal from Endpoint, and now tangled up at the midfield.
Oh yeah, you can see Drees struggling to get back. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Chicago does and will intercept that play. And Relating Wave just trying to get G2 to throw the ball away. They do a good job of playing that in between JNaps and Chicago, but still a little bit confused. seiko with low boost, almost able to put that one on target. G2 barely get in front of that one, but now Endpoint starting to warm up on offense, and that can spell danger for G2.
seiko, all eyes on him. The air dribble, pinch out to the middle, shot opportunity. Rebound out, Metza goes to the post. Beautifully placed. You can see 2 defenders from G2 in net.
And look at that, just so much more confusion. The confusion there between Drees and Chicago. It's a free shot, and Endpoint, they're going to take that every single time.
But we've seen it before in other series, especially at this level. Even though you have a lot of the net to shoot at, you still have to focus on that placement. Metza placing that wonderfully. Saw the tangle, Drees running into his teammate in the net. And also it was that Seiko air dribble that set up the assault.
Uh-oh, this is dangerous. Seiko almost was able to get there. You saw the follow-up, but not enough for Endpoint. 47 seconds left. Endpoint still looking to add some pressure. Midfield battle. Metza Norris will pick it up, has a decent amount of boost. Going up high, you can see even Endpoint trying to throw someone off, giving as much room for Seiko as possible when he gets the ball, but now he's in a tough spot. Pass middle, Drees can't get there in time. G2 running out of options here as the time ticks down.
Running out of options in time. Endpoint, despite giving up that early goal, answering back immediately with the kickoff. Defense looking good. Meanwhile, that one mistake, Drees running into his opponent, or his teammate rather. Will that come back to bite him?
Ball down in front. Chicago going for bumps. J-Naps, the low touch. It's in the air, but oh wait, is that a no-goal? Seiko tries to get a touch. Chicago, no! It's off the post. Endpoint barely hold on.
Oh man, I'd love to get another look at that last shot. You saw Seiko going up, running on fumes, doing everything he could just to deny that first shot. Helpless on the rebound. You got Chicago barreling in, the top goal scorer in NA. I guarantee you, Endpoint saw their life flash before their eyes, but they get away with this game one.
Yeah, just barely. I mean, if there's any more time given to G2 in that last moment, you can see exactly that one going in. It was honestly something that, you know, very rare mistake from Endpoint towards the end there. But that being said, they slowly got into this game. G2 struck first, and Endpoint, again, as time passed on, they had more control. They got that offensive spot, and they made the most out of it.
But Daz, even just looking at the shots, 4 shots for Endpoint. They scored half of them. Meanwhile, 11 shots for G2. That's really the way the game seemed to go in the beginning. G2 having all the pressure. It looked like G2 was playing their game, and it still wasn't enough. So what does that say?
It means that they got to finish. That's been the biggest thing. They haven't finished, even in that final goal. They're getting the opportunities. They're getting the ball out in open space for somebody to take a free shot. But that person shooting has to nail it. That time it was Chicago with one off the post. Cannot let that one happen again for the rest of this series. But game number 2 on your screen. We're on Forbidden Temple, and we'll see exactly how G2 can try to adapt here, or if Endpoint continue to build. It's looking pretty close so far, I'd say, in the first game. That just showed you, oh man, that's a big whiff from Seiko. Usually don't expect those. G2 trying to make the most of it, but defense kind of set here for Endpoint. First 30 seconds, very, very quiet as ball's been on the blue half.
You saw Chicago doing work, stealing as much boost as he could, but Endpoint again holding up to the attack. You play here, Metza getting shut down early. Drees too speedy. J-Naps wanted that block attempt, going for the dunk goal on the goal line.
Seiko trying to use as much boost as possible, gets the flip reset. Good 50 as well out in front. Another big 50. Just trying to be a wall. Metza comes up with only 5 boosts, so has to throw away the possession. But look at that cut, trying to throw off those transitions. G2 pass out of transition a lot, and Endpoint are starting to see that and get in front of it.
Metza tapping this down. Nice touch. Well, is it? Seiko thought he would be able to go for that one. Gets bailed out by Relating Wave.
J-Naps on the wing. Chicago. J-Naps.
It's
in! J-Naps popping off to start game 2.
You know, Daz, that's not how you write it up. Going for the dub. Oh my gosh, I thought Metza got a piece of it.
No, I didn't say pop off for no reason, James.
J-Naps, the dub. From that first angle, it looked like Metza got a piece of it, but J-Naps, you give him an inch, he takes a mile. He can work with anything.
And if J-Naps awakens in this series, that just means you're going to see a completely different G2 on the field. It's going to be up to Endpoint to make sure that doesn't happen, as they're trying to get things back into this game. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. You see Seiko on the ball, trying to get this one past Drees. Has low boost. Relating wave. Gonna end up giving that one back to JNaps. Metzanor's trying to control the play. You see Seiko with that turn there in the midfield. He's got to battle through all of G2, doing a good job. Seiko, he does it! Oh, Seiko with the tie!
Put this man in a straitjacket. Seiko's gone psycho.
Look at that fake. Oh my goodness. And then into the flick. G2 had no idea. And they should have immediately challenged that ball, because when that guy gets any time, oh boy, does he make magic happen.
JNaps trying to answer. Metza says no.
Pass out.
And Daz, this Endpoint team, you think G2 is starting to truck their way down the tracks. But something gets thrown into the gears, and it's Seiko and Endpoint answering back every time.
And we all knew going into this one, definitely felt like it was going to be an uphill battle for G2. They've been playing great so far today, but this Endpoint roster, I mean, the desk was unanimous, well, almost unanimous, except for Wave for a reason. Big shout out to Wave. But G2 are going to have to put in a lot of work. That one, a little bit of confusion on the defense. G2, they do a good job. There's a space. Drees, no, he can't get to the ball in time. So close. That could have been a good chance there for G2.
Oh, and another team bump. Drees running into Chicago at the midfield. JNaps, the nice 50 and the double commit now from Endpoint. Getting a bit dirty in the trenches. Both teams looking to stabilize.
Oh, that's a good clear from Metza.
Oh, does he have the read?
No, he doesn't have the read. Chicago immediately able to get on top of that one. And now here's JNaps. He has some boost. What's he going to do? Off the ceiling, does get a 50 on that ball. Drees trying to play it up, looking for Chicago. Gets it to Chicago.
The shot.
There's the shot. Seiko there with the save.
Oh.
There's a bump on the play. Drees tries to keep it in, but it'll only slow things down for Endpoint for now.
The shot, well read, predicted, and blocked. Endpoint holding on for dear life. Seiko, that's a lovely pop, flip, reset below Drees, but he'll be shut down.
That one getting past relating wave. Metza's gonna have to take that one all by himself. And boy, does he do a lot of good work with it to get that in front of the goal line. Here's relating wave.
Double?
Does he have the double? He does, but the defense is there from G2.
But it's not over yet, Daz. More pressure mounting. Less than 60 seconds left to go. We're poised for overtime.
Uh-oh. Seiko gets a flip reset. Drees just picked up the 100 pad. We'll get there to beat out Metza in time. Very fortunate for G2. They're trying to go the other way. Can't get a bump out. Chicago in the back. This one has been neck and neck between these two teams. No one trying to give up a goal. Final 30 seconds approaching. Which one is going to break down the other's defense? Uh-oh, Chicago with the demo to try to start things off, but JNaps, that's not a good possession.
Oh.
Now Seiko going up for the ball here. Didn't have enough boost, and Drees will be able to pick it up.
That was brilliant from Drees.
Oh, JNaps with the bump! Chicago!
The shot! It's in! 12 seconds left. Drees shuts down Seiko. Gets that ball into JNaps' hands. Relating wave bumped out of the play. And Chicago, he can't miss that one. G2 answering back in game 2.
Well, with the final 12 seconds left, all G2 have to do is hold off Endpoint. Seiko tries to throw a testing ball. JNaps gonna look to take control, but Metza gets in front of it. You're starting to look at the boost pads. How much boost do they have? Can they make this drive downfield if you're Endpoint? Seiko tries to pick it up, but JNaps will put it down. Series all tied up.
G2, that was a critical game, having to prevent Endpoint on triple match point from getting into top 8 would have been a tall order. But Drees down there on the scoreboard, but the stats don't tell you everything. That last play, being able to block Seiko, going for that air dribble, going for that solo play. We know what he can do in those 1v1 situations. Drees made that play and immediately got that counterattack, and that was clutch.
And, you know, that's what G2 need to do, right? You look at Seiko on Endpoint and you think, okay, maybe all they have to do is stop him. I'm just going to be honest with everyone. There's no stopping that man. So what you have to do is you have to break down everybody else. You see Relating Wave playing back. You know Endpoint play a little bit more spaced out than other teams, and that works perfectly for G2's playstyle, who love to demo, who love to get in your face and make you as uncomfortable as possible. And I think that's why this one is going to be a lot more closer than everyone predicted. That being said, Seiko did have some good solo plays there towards the end. This one could go either way. Kickoff. DFH Stadium. And already ball on Endpoint. Relating with there's the pass play! Endpoint, strike back quickly!
And we take another look at this one. Relating Wave through the distractions. So calm. And CeX, as reliable as he can be, putting that one in 5 seconds only off the clock. Endpoint. This is what they were looking for in Game 3 after giving up Game 2 so late.
A calm roster that no matter what, will always just kind of stay into the game mentally. And that is huge here for Endpoint. Great start for them in Game 3. Mezzo with a big clear, and JNaps is going to have to go up for that.
And the amount of trust it takes to do that, hitting it hard right in front of your net. But he knew Mezzo was there. JNaps, backboard, pass. CeX having to give the ball up. Chicago shutting things back down.
Oh, Drees
the tip, but Relating Wave is there somehow, and JNaps couldn't make that read.
And look at this, though. G2 still able to get some really good touches on the ball. JNaps with another shot, and it'll go in! G2 tie!
Oh, and those bounce shots can be so difficult to block. It's like trying to hit a riser. CeX trying to react, but could not off that bounce. Strong shot from JNaps. G2 and Endpoint, they have been matched up nicely. G2, despite playing their game, hasn't been able to score that many goals so far. Endpoint's defense has been rock solid. So far, 2 early goals, and now 3! Chicago taking the lead for G2.
That momentum starting to swing in favor of G2. You see Drees go out. Chicago immediately, the turn was so fast to get to that ball. Stunned Endpoint there, quickly regaining the lead, but a lot of time left on the clock. We still have 4 minutes left here. Endpoint definitely let that one slip from them, but we've seen them do that to G2. You got to be careful off these kickoffs.
Drees breaking up the play again. He has been a key part of this G2 team, breaking up those midfield opportunities, those fast breaks, but now getting beat. Numbers advantage for Endpoint. And that shut down nicely from Chicago.
Still a little bit dangerous here. See CeX going up, 58 boost. Is going to be able to get a flip. And, my, you saw a wave come in, but kind of crashing into CeX instead of getting it into the ball. Close chance there for Endpoint. In a demo, Chicago out of the play. Gets a respawn and gets bumped immediately. CeX looking for a quick shot, but that's off the crossbar. Relating Wave tries to get there in time, but JNaps gets a touch out. Not done yet. Metza, it's gonna bounce in! And Endpoint taking a little page out of G2's book.
It's a slugfest, punch after punch. CeX having the last laugh on that one. And an easy bouncer, Endpoint tying things up.
That pressure can break down any team. We've seen both of these teams. Wait, that's another one off the kickoff. Metza doesn't let that one go in. At this point, how many, what else are we gonna see out of these two teams? They're pulling out all the stops. We're only halfway through this series.
They're pulling out all the stops because if they don't, their entire tournament comes to an end, Daz. This is it.
JNaps, he has to be big on these 50s. Does so. Drees gets a touch. But CeX is back in time. Gonna try to take his time. Meanwhile, Drees looking tough for some demos, and CeX still on the ball, getting past all. G2 have to make them play off their back wall here. Again, just showing that Endpoint can weave their way past some of these defenses. This possession fight has been so interesting to watch.
You're even seeing it, the midfield, multiple 50-50s in a row by the same player. Another challenge. Drees to battle in the trenches. And it's been a battle so far. This one to take the lead and be on match point. Now long shot will be easily handled by Drees.
JNaps trying to take control of that. Chicago coming in to help. Big play in the midfield, another 50 in the air. And it's honestly so hard to tell who has control here on DFH Stadium. This one into the corner. Wave gets demoed by Chicago.
Pass down.
Pass down, but Drees can't commit. He's back, last back here. 50 boost in the tank. Chicago will assist there in the 50, but like we said, the 50-50 game has been huge here in Game 3 especially. no one seems to just get the ball for free. You see Chicago thinking he has a possession. Metsanor says no, toodaloo.
We were seeing so many demos come out from Endpoint this game. And also on that last shot, Daz, Drees, you thought he might come up, but Chicago was still upfield. Would have had to go all in on that. So some conservative gameplay coming out from G2, hitting the brakes a bit.
Oh, Drees almost got a piece of that. Seiko got to go the distance with this one. Chicago will not let him. Great challenge to try to slow things down, but even JNAP's looking uncomfortable. Seiko on that sidewall doing his best.
Oh, that's a huge block from Drees as well.
Still, Endpoint on top of the ball. Is Relating Wave going to turn for this? No, going to leave it for Metza. Playing that one off the back wall. JNAP's in a tough spot, but Chicago to Drees. Plays this one high. Does Drees have it again? Does it? Chicago tried to get there, but Metsanor quickly to send it away. Uh-oh, Seiko in a 1v1 against JNAPs. He's forcing his way through. Oh! Seiko! He will not be stopped!
It looks like he ripped out of that straitjacket and escaped the insane asylum, and he's done it again!
My goodness! Is he rocking a Fennec or a tank?
I think it's both.
20 seconds left in game 3. Ball going to JNAPs. Gonna need something big here for G2. Gets one touch out. Metsanor is there. Endpoint, happy to play 50-50s in defense for the remainder of this game. But what will G2 to stop him? Doesn't look like much right now. They gotta go the whole length of the field. And Metza, clear to make sure that happens. Final few seconds, but it's not over yet. Seiko, though, trying to finish it, and it will hit the ground. Endpoint put the series on match point.
Endpoint now 1 game away. And this Endpoint team has been underestimated since the beginning of the season. They win 2 regionals in Europe. What more do they have to do to get that respect? Well, Daz, I think they're getting loads of it here. This was an unbelievable effort from Endpoint to shut down G2. Every time you think G2 is getting warmed up, Endpoint, they close them down.
They do, and you know, it's always Seiko who's always being massively involved in this team on offense. Definitely able to make some really good stops there, and for me, it seems that G2 definitely going to be needing to try to regain here. But in the meantime, while G2 try to think about what they're going to do, we're going to send it to Orb.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. We're here in the Swiss Abyss as teams are getting lesser and lesser. We're almost at playoff time. Chilling here with the Semper boys, okay? You guys are up next against Renegades. Are you guys beating Renegades?
Sorry, what did you say?
Are you beating Renegades?
Yeah, exactly. We are destroying them.
Destroying them is going to be a 3-0 sweep.
Probably.
Probably. I wonder what Renegades has to say about that. Do they agree? I'm seeing some thumbs down over there. But we're watching the G2 game here. Who do you got? Listen, I was hoping you guys would be on board with me. But you guys are saying? Endpoint?
Yeah, believe in Endpoint.
Okay. Because of Seiko. Let's see if Seiko can bring down G2. Sending it back to you.
Well, seems like Semper have a lot of confidence in Endpoint. And
you know the French, they roll together. They're tight. They're tight. But also, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I'll say that. CJ definitely going to have his work cut out for him in that matchup. But we have to get there. Going back into Utopia Coliseum for what could be the final match for G2 Esports. This one has been one where they have traded blows left and right. And Endpoint are standing on top as of now.
And this, Daz, in this series, you can see both these teams playing their hearts out. And if they go out, it's not because they didn't show up. Both teams making play after play. But we've seen some individual spectacular efforts from Seiko and Endpoint.
Question is, with everything on the line in terms of making playoffs or going home, what will G2 do in a potential final game? Chicago looking to feed JNAPs. It gets there, but Relating Wave there to stop him. Endpoint definitely posed to close this one out. You see the pass play coming from Seiko to Metsanor. It's all about being cool, calm, and collected, and they have to be here. It's G2. They're going to go kicking and screaming.
And we see an early demo for G2. Last game, the demos, the physical plays from Endpoint were a key factor in them pulling out that win, and now Relating Wave quickly in to shut that shooting angle down.
Ball out in front. JNaps tries to play it high. Enough boost there for Relating Wave to get there. Chicago.
Oh, and that's such good defense from Relating Wave, able to block the first shot and land so nicely on the backboard to have that follow-up play. Excellent defense from Endpoint. We've seen it all series long.
Look at this. Just trading the ball at this point. No team wants to overcommit. And everyone's trying to get that perfect pass, but they're playing with a lot of respect. Seiko out of the play, and what will G2 do now as he makes his way back? Still having trouble getting in front of that offensive zone. Seiko there quickly to put the ball where he put it last time, he even made a touch. It's back into that orange corner.
Oh.
That's a double commit. A free ball out in front. Who's going to pick it up? Seiko's going up. Chicago's up. He needs to read. No, drops it. Drees able to get that one out. Relating Wave trying to keep this one in. He's saying not done yet. Gets the flip reset. Drees comes up again to get a good touch to throw things off. But there's Metanoris. The shot blocked out from JNaps. Pressure coming out from Endpoint here, but G2 hold that drive off.
But if you've been looking at the boost meters for G2, they're so low, still weak. The final shot out to Metza, and that's the final blow. Unbelievable siege from Endpoint. They were smothering G2.
I mean, they literally made sure G2 had no boost left. They still applied the pressure. Endpoint had such great rotations there on that offensive drive, starving out G2 until they made a mistake. You saw the double commit, and uh-oh, it looks like it's getting a little worse. Seiko almost trying to capitalize on the mistake off the kickoff.
Chicago looking for a pass out to the middle again. Endpoint, they've been on their own back wall. They've got each other's backs as well. Not letting G2 get any momentum on the offensive end. Relating Wave, solo play chance, but that first touch too heavy. Back down to Metza. Metza trying to be unpredictable, causing chaos for G2. And now we're seeing another assault from Endpoint.
Oh man, good thing Drees gets that boost there in the corner. Otherwise, that could have been danger for G2. Seiko over there to kind of close things out. And JNaps, again, that's just going to be possession given. Look at that, almost a quick transition play. But Seiko not able to make a connection with the ball. 1:30 now. And G2, it's not looking good for them. They need to make something happen here, but Endpoint are not letting anything come into their box at all. They've been so good on staying on top of the ball and also applying pressure on offense. Will Relating Wave get They are here to stay. That's what Endpoint are trying to say there.
Everyone from Endpoint having their moment. 2 defenders to get through, and Relating Wave was like a hot knife through butter.
Dismantling the G2 defense. Can Chicago bring things back with that play? JNaps tries to get there. It's an open net, and Drees able to bring it within 1. G2 are on the clock.
It is not over yet, Daz. Drees keeping hope alive for G2, but we've only got 68 seconds left for G2 to get one more.
We're going to have to see something special if G2 want to even have a chance to force a Game 5. Endpoint on top of them right now. And in the final minute of gameplay, what will we see? We got a bump on the play. Chicago can't get around it. Seiko on top of it. He does get a demo on Metanoris, but if no one's in possession, does it matter? And Seiko on top of that with Relating Wave immediately crashing.
And you saw Drees trying to be cute there, trying to fake out Relating Wave, but it was not going to happen. The drop down pass! Oh, the G2 counter!
We said we needed to see some magic, James, and boy, do those boys show up. Chicago leaving it to Drees. The placement is perfect. Mets gets a piece of it, but it's just not enough.
That last touch from Chicago, that was the cherry on top of the cake. And my goodness, Drees there the whole time.
Oh, you saw Chicago trying to get there quickly. 30 seconds left. G2 aren't out of the woods just yet. Still need one if they want to force Game 5. Looking for a pass play middle. Oh, this is very dangerous. Relating Wave will get there. But Chicago with the pop. Seiko says, I'll take that. He's out of boost. So now a free one for Drees here. Menta up early. Drees does win the challenge, and this one plays off into the corner. Final few seconds in regulation. Looking at overtime, JNaps has the ball. Oh, he wants to play it. Seiko trying to play that one on the sideline, and Drees trying to get it off him. Seiko's still going. That one is still up. It's in mid. Menta to win. Drees says no. Game 4 overtime.
This is it for G2. If they want to stay alive in this major, they've got to score in this overtime. Endpoint. They've been proving the haters wrong. Another chance to do it.
JNaps looking for some bumps, but Seiko has all the control there on that ball. Relating wave. Gonna try to buy some space here for Endpoint. Drees up. Will he have another touch? Does, to try to throw things off. JNaps, that one's dangerous. Metza, but he's running out of boost here. Chicago gonna try to play the 50. Seiko in a tough spot, but does wrap around it to beat out JNaps. Dangerous situation there for Endpoint to start this overtime off. And G2, they're not gonna let them go easy.
See how much pressure they're putting on Drees. 100 boost, but that just too far ahead of him. Metza looking for the backboard, long clear. You can see Boom Ball playing out.
Oh, Wave gets that one off the side. Is anyone gonna be there for G2? That's a good touch. And Meta plays it over towards Chicago, who's gonna leave it for Drees. There's the 50 out. Chicago still has possession. Looking for Drees to Chicago. Chicago playing it high. That one straight down in front. Meta gets a touch. That pretty much saves the game there. And Endpoint looking for a transition. Relating wave. Oh my God! Endpoint do it! Unbelievable!
Relating wave dunks his way through to the top 8. Endpoint. What a statement!
Again, they always have each other's backs. You can see it even in that play. Relating wave in a perfect position there, even though Chicago's clearing it right into him. I mean, that one, you can see it on the cameras. That one's gotta hurt there. G2 definitely looked like they had a chance to force Game 5. But for Endpoint, they played it all the way through.
You know, and they played like the #1 seed out of EU. Those guys playing with so much heart. The individual effort that we saw from Seiko, but then also the team effort on defense, being able to have each other's back, the trust that we saw them play with. This Endpoint, this team, they're grinders. Their heart is in the right place. Yeah. Their head is in the right place, and that is going to get you results. This hard work that this team has put in is paying off over and over again, but G2, despite playing their game, it was not enough, and their journey here in Sweden comes to an end.
Fortunate for G2, they really worked hard to battle their way back into this round 5. Endpoint, though, this was a team that a lot of us knew coming in the potential that these guys have, and watching their journey to make it into the playoffs has been something that has just been absolutely astounding. You see it in some of the team plays, even in that last play. Again, always passing, always finding each other, and always keeping the vibes of the comms up. This is a true example of a team, and they've been leading Europe well.
There's no more lives left at this point in the tournament. Every series, an elimination match. We've got one more. Semper versus Renegades. Only one team can move on. That's coming up.